realize that I want to be that good mom, you know. I thought I have a lot of time, Karen. It's not that I didn't want to. I thought I have more time. I'd do it later. I didn't take it serious enough.
So, when a child comes home with labels, the teacher said something, bully said something. Now the child looks at the label and so the teacher says, I was dull. What action of mine led to that label? Once I speak, that label is gone. Poof. It's not my identity. It's something that has been given to me. I can give it back. I can, change. Because now I'm focused on the behavior. It's so important. It's simple.
And this is why working on ourselves is very important, because we've done that, we walked that path already. It's easy to role model our kids into that step. The kids, it changed their mood completely. The fact that you apologize and they feel more safe and trust with you by you repairing that relationship. Like, it's surprising to start seeing the kids start repairing the relationship.
Words come later and you will find it. And it's fine. But first, I need the right body language. If I don't have the right body language, even if I have the right words, the sync does not happen. So, like you said, the child bursts into the room and says something with his or her emotions. Again, I go a step back, validate, as in your feelings are real, your feelings are valid, your emotions, your mess is valid.
You look at the history, and so we can learn. Because of you put your parent as a perfect parent, right? And every time I make mistake, I judge myself. There's something wrong with me. I didn't think that it's very normal for every human being to make mistake. So, and this is why showing that you're a perfectly normal human, you make mistake, but make great people, you go and repair, right? When you make mistake. So and you have to praise their behavior, that they take courage to repair, and that's what it's all about. So even though you make mistake, it still have chance to repair, and role modeling the kids how to fix it. You be brave enough to go and face and fix the problem. Hey, you all beautiful soul. Wherever you are, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into my podcast. Welcome back to the Wisdom Inside Out. Yeah, that's beautiful on the validation, and I think it's a very important part. Moving on to the next letter, E, P-A-V, now it's letter E. It stands for empathy. It's so easy for parents to go to the kids from our own perspective, from our own, example, like the kids cry for something small and you're just like, oh, this is nothing, like I used to get hit in the eye much bigger. It's just like, this type of response is really a confident killer and disconnected to the kids. And so I just want to, if you can help the parent, what practice can we recommend for the parent to cultivate that genuine empathy in everyday interaction with their kids? We need to learn to put ourselves in their shoe at that age. When the kids will come to you, they're struggling with their schoolwork or something, you would don't just brush it off like, oh, when I was at your age, I did everything by myself, no one helped. So it's all about you. Empathy is all about them. You focus on them and understanding them. So how can we help parents to get really good with empathy with our kids?
We need empathy, and you're spot on in us bringing up our stories of the past and getting into that, which shuts our child down immediately. Completely agree. What we don't realize, Kina, is that when we look at empathy, yes, I need to find the right words, but before that, I need to have the right body language. Words come later and you will find it, and it's fine, but first I need the right body language. If I don't have the right body language, even if I have the right words, the sync does not happen. So, like you said, the child bursts into the room and says something with his or her emotions. Again, I go a step back, validate, as in your feelings are real, your feelings are valid, your emotions, your mess is valid. I'm not judging it, it's valid. Now, when I'm saying that, my body language has to be in sync, which means technically, I honestly tell parents to do this. When there's crisis or an emergency coming up or any kind of stress happening, literally shrug your shoulders down. You will feel a whole shift of energy inside you. Literally clench and unclench your jawline. You feel the energy release. Tighten and loosen your hands. If you just do these 2-3 things, before you open your mouth to speak, your body language is relaxed. Your child's energy now is synced or merges with your energy, finds a match. Words will find their bridge. For most, like the younger kids, you come down to their level. You sit down, or you pick them up onto the table where you're both at eye level. Body posture is extremely important for empathy. Second, when it's a teenager, sometimes you will not get them sitting face to face. You won't. They're not ready for that. The best time to talk to your teenagers when you're driving your car, they are sitting out there. So there's no eye contact, but there's a physical connect. There's a connection. When you're gone for a walk, when you're playing with a dog, at that time you start conversations there, and trust me, it comes into a space where you're sitting down face to face and talking. But you need to start it away from the hotspot. So empathy begins with your body language. Empathy starts from there. Then what you talk about is simply this. What did you feel? What did you see or hear to make you feel that? To make you feel the way you did? What did you feel or hear as a child? One, you're helping him gain clarity. He's able to filter through his own emotions. By filtering out the high emotional tense interpretations and feelings from what did I see and hear? The facts. So when you say what did I see or hear, the child now filters down, explains to you, you're giving him a space, a direction to speak. You empathize with this. You're talking about this now. You have something specific. It's so much easier to connect because you're both on the same page. Empathy is, like you said, it's not about you. It's not about me as a parent. It's about my child not having the coping skills, not having the wisdom of my age, not having the experience, and yet in the heart of a storm. And has to navigate that. And somehow for him there's a deadline, there's a timeline, my friend is not talking to me I need to fix it. I need to do something about it. I don't know what to do. Never experienced that. I've never experienced that as a child. And today, let's be honest, we don't know what our children experience. They are in a world that we have never stepped in. So if I say that, in my day I did this, I didn't care about, I stayed focused on my, please, these are kids who need those likes on Instagram. And even if they feel they are strong enough not to like it, there's someone, 10 people around them talking about their Insta posts. So we are not familiar with that world. They are looking at a consciousness of the climate, the ecology outside the world, the walls that are like bubbling and kind of just on simmer everywhere. Yeah, it's their reality. I cannot go back into my day and bring my wisdom from that. I have to work from here. The biggest thing I can do is say, what did you see or hear to feel the way you feel? Second, the best is to just sit with your child and hug your child while he speaks. Now, the hug is something that is very precious. I know that you are a lot into breathing and meditation and the modality there. And any one of the parents who are in that field will realize that I need the silence within. I need silence within. Yet in empathy, we bring in words. Second thing, I come back to breathing. If I don't make it a practice to breathe, in a crisis, my body does not know. I mean, I can say, oh, take a deep breath, but it doesn't work because in a crisis, I'm on survival mode. It's not going to work. I need to have a practice right through. Empathy is practice on a day-to-day basis. How do I express empathy? When my child wakes up, can I give him a silent hug? Forget about words. Because now, in a crisis, when I hug him, this feeling that he had here comes back. So he's already feeling safe. A hug may sound so simplified, but it's extremely powerful. He's going for an exam, he's leaving for a picnic, he's moving out of the door. My normal reaction as a parent is, yes, I will hug him, I will kiss him, but I will be saying things through it. Did you forget your tiffin? Do you remember to take your notepad? Do you remember this? I'm constantly saying something. The hug is dissipated, diluted. It's a matter of 30 seconds. It's a matter of 30 seconds. Yes, it is. And try it out. I really urge parents, give it a 7-day, not even longer than that. Just 1 week of silent hugs. 30 seconds, even 20 seconds if you have to. Just hug your child in silence. Step away and then say what you need to say. The hug is your anchoring point. It's your anchoring point. That's where empathy starts. Don't wait for a situation to arise. It's not going to be there. Start it here, small. Start with just your body language. Drop your body. That's all your child needs to feel safe enough to start talking. You will know what to answer. You will know. But if you yourself are tight, it's not going to happen. So for me, when I share about empathy, I am very focused on body language first, on the silence in the hugs first. All the rest, you will have tools for that. But this, no one discusses. The silence in that hug. And you feel it. As adults, we feel it. When we are going through a very major crisis in our lives, if someone is jabbering right through with solutions, we are like, yes, I appreciate you. But if someone just gives you that hug and says, Nothing. Just that hug. You just don't want to leave. You want to just stay there. I know you and I and half the parents listening have experienced that. Yet, when it comes to our kids, we feel, there's no time for that. Because there's no crisis. There's no crisis. Let it be a daily routine. That's empathy.
So beautiful. And like you said, it is me, and this is why I don't wish parents to wait until they have a crisis like me, until that cancer hit. And then I realized that I want to be that good mom, I thought I have a lot of time, Karen. It's not that I didn't want to. I thought I have more time. I'd do it later. I didn't take it serious enough. And this is why I so inspiring by people that they just focus on growing. They don't have to wait for crisis to wake them up. They just want to, I want to be the better person every day. And those type of people is a growth mindset, and they're so inspiring. And I want people to feel that way. Don't wait for crisis, because like me, I learned things the hard way. And lucky that I have the second chance, but not everyone have the second chance, And this is why, and I love it how you mentioned about hug. It's because I hug my kids until they let go first. It's always me, the last person, have to let go last now. And I think part of it helping with my empathy with the kids, I no longer look at them as my kids. I look at them as my cherished friend, another human being. They just come through me because they have their own destiny to go through as well. And when I start looking at them like in this cherished friend, value them as a beautiful friend that we share this planet together, you reduce all this barrier. And I do the same to my mom. And I removed that status, that label that separated us, and then when we start to see each other as a cherished friend, a sacred friend, we just feel free to say anything to each other, care, love, like from one human to another human being. And it's so easy to have that empathy as well. You put yourself in their shoes, and you said body language is very important. Like, not even just with our kids, right? Really, with any friend, when they cry, as long as you put your body tapping on their back or their shoulder, just that body touch, it's really calm the nervous system down, right? And you bring them back to a safe space. Okay, you're now ready to talk or discuss about the situation. So hugging is very powerful, and it's a way of a quickest way to calm our nervous system down. And like you said, don't worry about the word, because the kids is so good with reading the energy. Just focus on your energy first. Like, what type of energy are you going to them? If okay, I am check that I am from a good, calm energy. Say anything, even that's the rude word, they will feel it anyway, right? Like, I feel like when I say something, they don't take it serious because they know my energy was in a good mood. Even though you say some word, it doesn't sound right, but they feel it, right? So, and even though your words sound so perfect, but your energy is full of frustration, and they know their kids, what they're really good at is to reading your parent energy, because that is their survival mode. Like, they learn to rely on us parents, so they're so good when they know if you're coming from they even know before us parents. You thought you come to them in a normal language, right? Like talking, oh, I'm calm, I got all this great idea, but they can sense your energy coming from a very impatient frustration. But the kids, they're really good at reading your energy. So the first thing is to recheck before you approach anything. Like, what type of energy am I going to them? Is it a calm, or all about me with my own ideas and stuff like that? But that's a really good example how you mentioned about pause before you open your mouth. Just count first how many pause, and that help you to regulate your emotions. And and the way, the technique that you share. And sometimes I find like I just, before something is really nervous, I just drink water just to pause myself down. Or when some people get really angry, go and rinse your hand with cold water or ice. It kind of calm your nervous system back down. But pause and silence before you say something important. You'll be surprised how powerful it is. with that pause and silence, because we in the world of so distraction all the time. But when we have that time to pause, to self-reflect, you change. It's a game changer. Yeah. So the next letter of after E is R. It's role modeling. Yeah, and then like you said, you can tell them so many things, but if you don't embody it, monkey see, monkey do's. Right? Or else, how come we don't remember all the words that our parents told us, and we pick up all the behavior that they didn't want to teach us instead? So monkey see, monkey do. And as a role model, how can parents demonstrate a healthy emotional regulations, to influence the child because the kids, they're born with all emotion, with zero skills, and how we deal with all those emotions, they're gonna pick up. If you see something like angry, and when you see them angry and you go in a react, try to calm down, straight away they go judge this emotion's bad, because I see how my parents react to every time I feel this way, they react this way, so they will judge it based on your reaction, right? So, and this is why when we know how to regulate emotions, all emotion is just information. It tells you something, and when we go to respond without the emotion controlling us, but in a skillful way, the kids will learn, oh, this emotion is okay, that emotion is okay. We learn to judge the emotion is from our parents' reaction, from the society or culture reaction. So how can we help parents to demonstrate a healthy emotion regulation? I think it's very important, so the child can to influence the child to self-regulate.
When we work with art therapy and all the arts, we watch the children play, we watch the children color, we watch the children scribble, and through that we learn so much about the family setting. Because that's exactly, no matter how much you've done, that's exactly what they'll produce out there. And you are spot on that behaviors are caught, they cannot be taught. The teaching happens later. Monkey see, monkey do. But when we are talking about us becoming role models, I'm going to just deep dive into something that hits below the belt. So I'm deep diving, and I'm really hitting everyone with what hit me below the belt at one point in time. Do I feel worthy of being a role model? I know as a parent, I am my child's role model. But if I don't feel that self-love, self-esteem, self-worth in myself, in my role, the role that I play as a parent, if I don't feel, I won't even start the change. My self-worth in who I am and my role as a parent is so critical. If you realize, Lena, I keep going back and coming then into the action, because I won't do anything right if I don't feel right. If I don't feel that I am worthy of this post, of being a parent to this child. And you know, this belief, I'm not considering or putting my practice onto you, but I believe, whether it's the universe, whether it's God, whether it's the higher power, you are with this child for a reason, and this child is given to you for a reason. It's something that only you can make happen with this child. I believe that very strongly. And that need not be about the child, not just about the child. It's even if I'm, like for example, you and me here, there is something that in this connect will bring some parent somewhere what no other podcast would bring. And I strongly believe that. So coming back to my parenting, if I don't believe it, this will be, we say less salt, less essence. How then, if I once embrace the fact that I am worthy and deserving and chosen to be a good parent, be a parent in the first place, worthy. Now I look at role modeling. Now I look at the fact that how am I behaving? Forget about role modeling. I'll give you a simple example. As the child grows up, we keep telling them to be confident, right? All of us parents want our children to be confident. You don't need to rely on your friends. You make decisions on your own. You need to be confident. We keep saying these things. How many of us, now I'm specifically talking about mothers because I believe a mother's bond with a child, irrespective of gender, is very special. When I'm going to buy clothes, so many of us, I think 8 out of 10, go with a friend. We go buy shopping with a friend. We come home, okay, even if we went alone, we come home, we wear and try it out. I look in the mirror and then I turn to someone at home and say, is this looking nice? Is this color going with me? Is it fine? I don't say, I like this. What do you think? There's a whole different dynamics that's being played in just the way I said the first and the second. You think my child is not listening to this? You think my child is not privy to this? It's as simple as this. It's not rocket science. When we talk about all these things, the paper is not rocket science. It's these basic actions that we take. We cooked a meal. I liked how it turned out today. Don't you? No. It's like, I'm okay with it. Do you need more sugar? Do you need more salt? Is it okay? What do you think? When I'm stemming from uncertainty and I'm telling my child, no, you've got to be very focused. You've got to be confident. You've got to hold your own. Show up for you. How? He's not seen it in me. That's where role modeling starts. Not about, I am the CEO of a company, my child will need to see my success. I'm a doctor, my child sees my success. No, not about that. It's these things, these words that stay with us. And I'm sure in this moment, if every parent pauses for a while and goes back in their childhood, they will have identified one thing that they've seen in their parent, which they've kind of absorbed. And even if it's been a conscious effort not to be. Every one of us has it. So let's be more conscious. I love what you shared. Conscious parenting. Let's be more conscious about how we behave with ourselves, because that's what our children are looking at. Then don't worry about the role modeling. They will have us, and it's okay. The second thing is to accept that we are human. We are human. With humanity comes errors, comes messes. It's normal. The issue is not about being perfect. It's how you handle your imperfection, which makes my child so much stronger. I messed up. What do I do about it? How am I handling it? If I blame someone and I said, this didn't happen because of that one, that's not modeling. If I've said, I've had a hard day, I just need 5 minutes to recalibrate and we'll talk after this. I can see my temper rising. I am angry. I'm saying things that I don't mean. Okay, let's take a break right now. Let's come back to this in 5 minutes. Let's circle back after lunch. Let's have lunch. Let's talk about other things. Let's have lunch peacefully. We'll circle back about this when we are both gone. That is what we role model. So first, self-worth. I am deserving of this role that I am playing. Second, how am I with myself, my self-talk, my self-behavior, me and myself? third is navigating the messes, navigating through the messes. Even if someone else made an issue, how do I, it's always about narrative. How do I talk through it? How do I navigate through it? Am I just washing my hands and saying, you did this, now you handle it, and I'm not? No, it makes a difference. Such a change. So when you are talking about role model, just that. That's all I have to say about role model.
Yeah. And that's coming back to us parents have to do the work on ourselves again, right? And it's I know like parents would just come to me, I see her, she has so much potential, they just focus on pushing, but they didn't see that the kids can come back. Why don't you do it yourself? You know, like in a way, it's so easy to tell people, but it's harder work to embody it. But when they see you doing and working on yourself and in love with yourself every day, the version, that's how you inspire other people to change. We cannot change anyone. We can only inspire them. And this is why by working on ourselves, become our best version. That's all we can do, really. When you become your best version, you can give out more. You can give more. And this is why working, you know, I've seen some parents, they say they have the good intention for the kids, you know, they want the kids to, because they focus on their shape, they want the kids to be skinny, especially a daughter. They were just like, oh, you're so fat, don't eat too much, even though the kid's not really fat, but because they want to raise the kids in a fear base, like so they can reduce on eating. And then she would always whinge about herself, like, you know, I'm so fat, I don't look good in this dress. All these little things, you didn't think that the kids pick up from you. The way you think and you judge yourself, they will pick up and judge on themselves as well. And the way you tell them to eat less and stuff, that is a big confidence killer. It's in a way, you silently tell them that you are fat, you're not good, you focus on your external look and stuff like that. So, and this is why, by you just focusing on becoming the person that you're in love with yourself every day, the way you do, you're enjoying life, happy with life, even though you don't say, you know, my daughter just come to me the other day, she's like, Mommy, you are my superhero, because every time she have problems, she come to me and talk. I managed to bring her back to feel better about herself. And I was like, why did you say that? You know, it's just like, you're always happy with your work, with your client, you know. And she compared, like, you know, Daddy, sometimes he's stressed with his business and stuff. And they can see it, like, oh, you know, you want to choose, the kids see it and they say, I want to choose a work that I feel good. I come back home, I still smile. And they can see who is enjoying life, you know. So, and she's just 6 years old, but what I'm saying, like, all this little thing, it's all this little thing that we embody and working on ourselves, and that is a big, like 80% they will observe from that. And don't think that you and the parent, they choose to keep repeating the same word again and again, you know, and they say, I'm so draining. Well, obviously it didn't work. It didn't work. You need a new tools. You need a new tool. So
Yes,
yeah, but role
absolutely.
modeling,
And
yeah,
and it's important to embrace yourself with all your strengths, weaknesses, everything. So if you embrace yourself, because you know that this is not your forever, you had a hard day, hey, you had a hard day. And that's the reason why you know, I'm not able to give off my 100%, but this is my 100% today. So let's work with this. Kids understand. They understand that a lot more. They will reflect to you what you need. They will give you what you need. But be honest, be embracing of who you are in that moment. That's all.
yeah, spot on. Just be human, but be a kind human to them. You know, when I was sick, I was like, mommy on running on a 60%. You know, I told my kids, is there anything that you need to do? You need help? You know, I might not able, just to give them a heads up. and they will understand the language that, oh, mommy, I'm on 100%, I will give you a massage. Oh, mommy, I'm on 100%, you need anything I can do for you, you know. Human being, we just need to feel seen, heard, and feel important. And important, it doesn't mean you go around to have many friends to like you. Feel important, it can be just from contribution to others, like how you help others and you feel important. And this is why with my kids every night, you know, we talk about gratitude, we talk about how many things that you add value to others every day. I just want to train their brain on adding values to people. And you'll be surprised, by you adding value to people, you feel important. You don't need to go and get 100 likes or people to have been popular. And then it helping them to learn to contribute more from a very young age. Even they help me clean the house. I was like, thank you for adding value to mommy's life today, you know. So in a way, they're feeling important every day without you just have to keep telling them you're so important. Like just turning every little situation moment to make them feel important and contribute to the world. Yeah. And yeah, but it is, I have to say, it's not easy, but it's a sustainable way, and you'll be so proud of yourself by the end of the day, how your kids, you raise a kid in a way that they don't need you, but they still want you in their life. They know how to do things, handle things by themselves, you know. I have a client, she's one of the manager at our workplace, a bank, and she asked me for a coach, and she was so upset with her dad that she said, I haven't talked to my dad for years, you know. I cannot forgive him because, you know, the way he is, he was being mean to my mom. He never cared because her mom and him separated and stuff like that. So, and for me, understanding when the way she described her father, to me it was a flawed parenting, right? And she was like, no, because everything have a cause and effect. You only see the effects, but you don't go to the root where the cause come from. So she didn't tell me about her father, but I was asking, and she's like, no, like his mom was always you know, love him so much, everyone around him love him so much. And it's like, how does it, can you tell me what does it love mean? And so she's like, no, even till now, every time he owed people's money or causing a problem, his mom still run around trying to fix the problem for him. And you know, like, yeah, it's in a way, I was like, and I try to take her back, like, how do you feel when you constantly, your parent constantly doing everything for you? That is to silently tell you that you are broken, you're not capable of fixing anything by yourself. You know, he's growing up in that. Do you think, you know, when I get her to see these, the way he growing up in a parenting coaching, that I told her that she now have compassion for her dad, you know, and she now can forgive her dad. But this is what I'm trying to say. When you love your kids from your own trauma, because the mom, her grandma, gone through a lot of tough time, and because she wished when she was at that age, like that's how I want people to take care of her, you know, without have to do anything, rice put in front of him and everything. But when he go to the real world, he got hate everywhere because he go out with the entitlement. He will expect everyone to do the same thing as his mom did to him, and no one's gonna give him that because that's not reality, right? And because of that, he gets so many hate. And how could he live a happy life when he was struggling? And I let her know that to forgive him, because he can't show up for himself. How could he show up as a husband? How could he show up as a father? You know, so he is a little child himself that still haven't grown up. And yeah, so, and this is why I just want to remind the parents, you know, I love him. Before they even want to get a bottle, you hold in the water bottle to them already, you know, you do everything, food, feed them everything. That's not love. You are hurting your kids. And love is like trusting that they are capable, and you just empower them to take all those hard steps. They're doing everything, but you just have to learn how to empower them. Yeah.
Absolutely. Huge difference between enabling and empowering. A huge difference.
Yeah.
You enable a behavior, you empower a person. Huge difference.
And this is why working on ourselves is very important, because we've done that, we walked that path already. It's easy to role model our kids into that step. And yeah, so and the last one is S, which is, I spell it again, so PAVERS, and S stand for separation the person from the issue. I love this. So when conflict arise, instead of what's wrong with you, there's something wrong with you, we should never ever impacting people worth, that our sense of self-worth, it should always be unconditional. So how can we help parents when the kids doing things that we don't like? How can parents separate the child identity and just focus on fixing the behavior, learning new skill, how to handle with situation, and how to build that important connection at the same time, instead of shaming them and fear, like starting from fear-based and stuff like that.
Yes. So when we are looking at this again, that I need to know I have a good child who's having a bad day. My thought. If my mind says, oh my goodness gracious, this child is then I'm attacking my child. My narrative is, my child is good, having a bad day, he's going through a tough time, he's not giving me a tough time, he's not a bad child. Huge difference. How do I, it is what it says, separate the person from the behavior. So I'll give you an example. My child wakes up late. You're so lazy. Now that word lazy is an umbrella. Just say, my child may or may not connect with the behavior, but that word lazy will spill over into so many other areas that he does not know what to connect with. And now his identity is lazy because he feels that's his identity. I am lazy. Why is it that a parent cannot pause and say, what's the action, what's the behavior? Let me call out the behavior. It's very simple. It's as simple as this. Just call out the behavior. You're not doing your work in time. Your submissions are pending. Your socks are on, you've thrown a wet towel on the bed. So call out the behavior. Just the behavior. You're very untidy. You're so useless. You're so Why? Why is this umbrella label coming across? Because now my child identifies with the umbrella. And everything and anything fits there. Once it fits there, it is so difficult for a child, even if he grows to be 40 and 80, to stop that label. So the idea is very simple. What we are going to do is, we are going to identify the action, the actual action, and just call out the action. So what did I see? I called it out. Ask a question. What do you think should be done? What do you think is the right thing? Or what do you think would help? Ask a question. Wait for the answer. Again, it goes back. Passive, patient waiting, acknowledging. It goes back. So wait for the child, because now what will happen is, because you have created a cause and effect, because you've created his thought process, you've triggered it, you've initiated it. The next time this happens, the thoughts are already in his head. The voice is his. It's not like, okay, I am like this, so what? I'm going to be the same. No point in trying, no point in effort. See? Even the acknowledgement of effort, everything comes in this. So coming back, when I call out the action, It becomes easier for me to give guidance, to give instruction, to give direction. It becomes easier for the child to re-navigate, to redirect his own behavior. So, when a child comes home with labels, the teacher said something, bully said something. Now the child looks at the label and so the teacher says, I was dull. What action of mine led to that label? Oh, I did not answer in class. I didn't raise my hand and answer. Okay, I need to prep a little. Once I know, I will speak. Once I speak, that label is gone. Oof. It's not my identity. It's something that has been given to me. I can give it back. I can, change. Because now I'm focused on the behavior. It's so important. It's simple. And I know that initially you said somewhere in the course of our conversation that it takes time. If we start this early, we've created such strong, resilient, competent, emotionally regulated children who have a voice of their own, who have tools of their own, without going for a course or a class or anything like that. Because of what you did from day to day to day, you empowered them as well. Separate the behavior from the label. Call out the action. Once you've called out the action, find out how to rectify the action. And that is something that everyone can do. The label will not stick if an action has changed.
That's beautiful. Yeah, that's beautiful. I think it's very important when you can separate it and when you provide the feedback, right? So even with my daughter and stuff, because the kid's brain when they're young, let's just say at my daughter's age, right? The brain is like a sponge. Whatever you say to them, it's gonna create this sense of identity. Like you said, if you keep repeating, you're lazy, over time, it's become their belief. They accept that I am lazy and I'm becoming that person. And especially the word from the parent is so powerful because you would be surprised how much the kids love us. They love us parents more than they love themselves. So they really believe every single word that you are saying. And this is why the word that you're saying to them, we have to choose empowerment word that empower them to do better and stronger, not all those fear-based, shame, you're irresponsible, like I find with my son when we start talking about, what type of person do you want to be, like try to link him to the purpose, like
Yes.
into faith and stuff like that. So he will look at his action is worth of doing. Like when you tie it to the big picture, is he, like your parent used to tell you so many things, or do this, it doesn't stick as you have your own passion and what type of person you want to show up to the world every day and what's your goal and stuff like that. So when you tie that up, their action, even though, I'll be surprised, like I used to push and pull with him with his homework and stuff, enroll in class, constantly have to reminding. And now, regardless how much fun he have with his cousin or with us, I have to go. I have to go. I need, so he's really responsible with his own work, like without, like I share with my son, like when you connected to the purpose, the big picture, the action is become more easier for them to follow, and they will see, oh, this aligned with, it's not like a push and pull where they keep getting the information from the external source, like outsource the information, and it doesn't work well as their own internal power generations, so when you talk to them what they want in life and you try to guide them according to what they want in life, it will stick, and their action, they will know their responsibility. And this is why don't just look at the surface when you say my kids is lazy, my kids is irresponsible. Maybe we keep telling them to do the thing that they didn't really want to do, they just want to please us parents. And and to guide them to find what really make them happy, whether you believe it or not. Because I coach so many people, they come to you, oh, I choose this subject, I choose this career because of my parents tell me to do, and eventually they will go back to their own passion anyway. So it's become a long route for them. But how about when we help them at an early age to find that, and so that way they enjoy the process of whatever they're doing every day. Because we know in life it's not winning every day. As much as we want them to be success, they have to go through a lot of fail, a lot of challenge, unless it's very important for them. That's why they keep going, because they find it's worth it. And this is why helping them to find that passion, find something is for them, it will stick for them, and they will enjoying life. And this is why I said, work with your kids, you will save a lot of money on therapy. Some kids like,
So true.
yeah, because some parent came to me, the kids, like when the kids become teenagers, usually teenagers, when you see the big change, right?
Absolutely.
The kids, yeah, they close the door on me, they lie to me, they don't talk to me. And, how could I help them when they don't even talk to me? But first of all, we have to understand the root cause, I know it's easy to try to change others, but it's actually easier to change us first, because we have no power to control on others. So we have to self-reflect, what can we do from our part that contribute to the co-creation? Because it's so easy to sit down and do that blame game, but teamwork, we don't do that blame game, right? So to understand, why does kids don't want to talk to me? What happened? What type of person that you don't share your problem, share the story with? How did that person make you feel? So when you try to questioning and understand the root cause, and that's when to help, especially teen, and I have compassion for the teen nowadays. So much pressure they expose, and they're in society with a lot of stress, because and parents, sometimes we keep comparing to this generation to our generation, and they are completely different. And this is why, if they don't feel understand, if they don't feel you hear them, then they just shut down, they withdraw. So so I just want to understand, you help many parents, you've seen so many students. Out of this paper framework, which one do you think that the most common that the parent usually overlook?
Without any doubt, it's the very first, which is patience. Just patience. When you are doing the patient waiting, everything else falls into place. Because now you have that pause in which you can recalibrate your own GPS, your own path forward. You are not able to separate the behavior from the child, because you've not been patient enough to be present. And if you're not present, you're not going to be acknowledging the right things. If you can't validate the child's feelings, automatically the empathy is lost. All your efforts are lost. So the entire thing, what are you role modeling in any way, it becomes a mess if that first paver block is not in place. And that's so critical and difficult today, because all of us are chasing our own needs. There are finance, there is careers, there is illness and health. There are so many things that we need to attend to. It gets challenging, but I always assure parents, start early, one. Second, it's never too late, start. But give it space for even the child to adjust to this new style that you are bringing in. Because if you have changed your path now, after that many years of conditioning, your child will take a little bit of time to adjust to, why is mom behaving differently right now? Why is dad behaving differently right now? Even if it's good, they take time to trust this goodness. When you spoke about the time that a parent spends with a child, it's extremely important. Again, going back to the fact that I feel worthy of being here in the present moment. It allows me to be at ease rather than controlling. If I believe I have a good child who's going through a tough time, then my ability to give him space to fall forward, to give him space without being so micromanaging, is also a reality. So peace, the first of favors, is always the first step, which is always so challenging and yet so critical to everything else.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, and I know a lot of parents, like, they when they learn about these new tools and approach, it's like, oh, I already damaged my kids, and like you said, it's never too late, and it's also an opportunity for you to repair. Like, I make mistake all the time because the kids keep growing, they keep changing, there's a different, and so you have to keep learning new skill to a different pace. Like, I noticed my son, they growing from a small to a bigger age, and then that's when you start seeing they showing a sign that you lose connection. That's because they have grown. You need now to let go a bit more space. You learn to let go. So it's never done. I think to remind the parent, they need to let go of the perfect parent. It doesn't exist. See, so, and then if you make mistake, it's okay. You have now to repair it. And repair is very important skill. You get to role model the kids that everyone make mistake. We all human. So when they make mistake, they don't judge themselves. Because me growing up, my parents didn't show their vulnerability, right? They just everything.
They didn't know how.
Yeah, they didn't know how. I'm not saying this to blame them, but
No,
they give me
that
the best life that they
generation,
could be.
the whole generation was, we have to be in control of ourselves,
Yeah.
of the situation. That was the generation then.
Exactly. So without them bring me at this level, I wouldn't get to the level I am now anyway. They did their best compared to their grandma or whatever their generation. But what I'm bringing this up is all about learning purposes, right? Like learning and growing. You look at the history, and so we can learn. Because of you put your parent as a perfect parent, right? And every time I make mistake, I judge myself. There's something wrong with me. I didn't think that it's very normal for every human being to make mistake. So, and this is why showing that you're a perfectly normal human, you make mistake, but make great people, you go and repair, right? When you make mistake, and because I apologize first, I own up for, I should have regulated more because I was busy. I didn't take time to listen to you. The kids, it changed their mood completely. The fact that you apologize, and they feel more safe and trust with you by you repairing that relationship. And and now it's like a surprise to start seeing the kids start repairing the relationship. It's not just the mom doing it first. My daughter will take initiative, like, oh, I'm sorry, mommy, I shouldn't say that to you, within half an hour. So, and you have to praise their behavior, that they take courage to repair, and that's what it's all about. So even though you make mistake, it still have chance to repair, and role modeling the kids how to fix it. You be brave enough to go and face and fix the problem.
When you bring this up, just very quickly, when you bring this up about bringing children into therapy or bringing children into coaching, the one thing which you shared right now about being comfortable with our role and that we need to repair stuff is that I'm sure you've experienced it too. A parent brings a child and says, these are the issues, this is my child, please fix it. And when you call them into session and say, you know what, you need to tweak ABC at home. But, and it's so important that I fix myself and my environment before I expect my child to fix. That's what I want to raise out here. So parents understand there's never too late, but there is a role that you need to play. So please embrace your role in fixing the situation also. Small tweaks, but definitely doable. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I took that moment, but go ahead.
That is spot on, and I have faith in the parents because I know how much as a parent how much we love our kids. Sometimes we don't want to change just for ourselves, but we're willing to sacrifice and do it for the kids. And this is why I can see and I have hope in parenting, because they're not just raising themselves, and they also raising the kids at the same time, you know. And how can we keep reminding the parents, because to see when they're in a challenge situation, when something bad happen, you know, they judge it as a bad, well, you know, something bad or good. But how could we help the parent to see that, you know, every moment or every challenges, it's a learning and growing opportunity for the kids. Like we can turn it to a classroom, live classroom, without have to pretend someone set it up. You know, every day, whether they go to school, whatever, it can turn to a classroom for your kids to practice, to be resilient. How can we help the parents to keep reminding that we can turn every moment to a classroom for the kids? Like life itself is already exposure. I know a lot of parents like, I want to put the kids in this class to learn this, learn that. But life itself is already learning. If you look at every moment, you can see the wisdom. You can learning from every opportunity. How can we help our parents, the parents, to see this?
Yeah. So, like I said earlier, it's never in the situation. We've got to do a little bit of prep on a daily basis on ourselves. So, I always request parents, in the morning when you wake up, just breathe, affirm your child, affirm yourself, stay with it. It just takes 30 seconds. You don't even have to go into a yoga pose or any kind of go to a mountain. You just, while you're stirring something on the fire, while you're rolling out, the breakfast, while you are doing something, waiting for something to boil, just affirm yourself and your child. Just take that moment. Second, when you wake up your child, I know every parent says, but they don't get up. It's okay. But the first time you wake up your child, go with that hug. Go with some blessing. Kiss them on the forehead. Do something. They are never too big for kisses on the forehead. Never. So always do something that grounds you. This grounding creates an open door for when you actually are in a crisis. That your voice is heard, that you are understood, what you are speaking and sharing is seen and heard. If this on a daily basis does not exist, the foundation, the grounding does not exist, very often what we are trying to do in a crisis will not land. It does not land. So yes, the pavers work, but the pavers have to be used on a daily basis in the smallest of steps. Trust me, role modeling. If you have given your child a hug five days of the week, the sixth day your child comes and zeroes in like a beeline towards you. Because now there's that new conditioning. There's a new feeling. There's a yearning for this warmth. They will. If you have been able to separate the action from the label in normal ways, simple ways, just hold restraint. That again comes back to patience. In those moments, you will be able to hold and walk on pavers, and your child will walk that paver road with you. Always.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And like you said, consistency is the key. Bit by bit, every day. It's that, you know, like a drop of water, it can create a hole on the rock as compared to you pour a bucket of water in one go. It doesn't work like that. So every consistent action every day have a big impact. And like you said, if you keep telling your kids you're lazy, irresponsible every day, they will believe that identity. Imagine you flip the script, you're amazing, you can do it and stuff like that every day. They will believe that new identity as well. It's the same method. It's just about you're conscious enough to walk that paper framework and apply it bit by bit every day. You know, and also I just want to ask, like, is there any example that we can help the parents, like, you know, any rituals that the parents can help, they can apply with the papers principle with their children?
Okay. So one is what you shared right at the start, the gratitude. This is something that's extremely important, the gratitude circle. If you can get your child at any point in time, either a meal time or at, say for example, the night ritual, create a little ritual there where you give gratitude. Uh, Before they give gratitude for big things, they may even give gratitude for a puppy they met or crayons, and it's fine. It's absolutely fine. Allow that space of growth. So one is give gratitude. The second is the hugs, the most important of all. Silent hugs. Please do not dilute it with words. The silent hugs. The third is when you are with your child, be on the same level. You may be talking fun stuff, but if you are standing and your child is sitting, somewhere in the body language there is a difference. It is taken differently. Time and tone. So when we are talking about a ritual, let your morning, when you are bidding them farewell, let your night, when you are saying goodnight, be very sacred and precious. You may have had a fight 5 minutes ago. It doesn't make a difference. You're saying goodnight now. Just hold it. Hold it. And for yourself, in the morning, for the parents, in the morning, when brushing your teeth, and I always say this, when brushing your teeth, look into your eyes in the mirror and say, I am chosen for my child. My child is chosen for me. And I can and I will be the best parent in today.
That's, yeah. That's spot on. This is before I even start coaching. Because when I was going through cancer, I told myself this, I'm going to be a good wife and I'm going to be a good mother. Like I choose to tell that belief first. And it's just like you choose to say, I'm not an alcoholic. You will know what to do when you say, I'm not alcoholic. And if you say, I am going to be a good mother, you will know what a great mother would respond. And by pre-frame this intention, they call intention in living, so this is why life is so broad. When you get up, you work on your gratitude and you set intention what you want to achieve every day. This is aligned to guide you, so you know what is distraction, what is the direction to go. And I asked my kids today, what's your intention? So to prime them. And at night time it's the same. Like I focus on gratitude. My daughter, she used to wake up, go to school crying, but since we start gratitude just 2.5 years ago, she's always in a good mood in the morning, wake up early. It's how we prime our brain the night before. And we talk about gratitude, we talk about adding value to others. And with the kids and stuff, I give them to, when something really important, I tell them that, look, I will trade whatever they want extra time in connection time. Just watch this podcast with me and tell me 3 things that you learned from this, or something like that. They don't have to do it, but if something I really want them to learn, then I have to trade with what they want. Usually kids, my kids, they just want a connection time with parents. Even though we have a game time 15 minutes after dinner every day already, it's never enough. They always ask, okay, what is your schedule for your working today? Oh, you can connect with me this time, So, and I have to say, parenting used to be struggling for me. I used to find that going to work is more luxury, because dealing with kids, it's not easy. But when you work on yourself, it's become a lot easier. And and it's a beautiful for everyone to grow. And I thank my kids every day. Thank you for making me a better person, because without them, I wouldn't try to push, wouldn't try to be a better role model, wouldn't try to become a better version of myself. And they are my greatest teacher. I never been patient to anyone than I'm patient to my kids. So yeah. And so how can we help to envision like a long-term future impact for the kids, like with the consistent, like with the paper approach on this, to help the kid with their self-trust and seeing their action linked to the big picture or their purpose or something. How can parents help their kids to build that self-trust with whatever action they do every day and build the relationship?
It's about getting your child to own herself or himself. It's about teaching your child that he's got a voice too, not just the voices outside. So by asking questions rather than giving the instructions in the voices. In fact, in my TED Talk too, I said just go back to the last hour. How much of it was filled with instruction and just corrections, and let's just pause and say, ask the right questions. So for parenting, it's all about knowing how to ask the right questions and to have your child know the questions themselves. Because then tomorrow, when we are not around, they know what questions to ask. They know how to navigate new situations, apply them to new situations. And one thing for parents, never give up. Never give up on yourself as a parent. Never give up on your child. Because there is goodness in you, in your child. So always strive to, declutter so that goodness comes to the fore. Because there is never, ever, ever give up.
That's beautiful. I love it. And just trust me, I do understand it's very hard work for parenting. I have compassion for parents nowadays that we have to do more because we're competing with all this, the kids all exposed to all this information. We could just not use our power to do whatever. But I just want to tell you that, when you raise them in a way of, let them without relying your external outsource, you feel it, like if you rely on something, it's never what happened when you're not there. It's just like an old woman relying on a walking stick. The reason she rely on a walking stick from the first place because there's something wrong with her, that she's not capable of doing things by herself. And we don't want to be that walking stick for the kids. We want them to be capable without relying on anything. And I know it's easier, you like them, you want to help them, but what happened when you are, you know that they're going to be 18, they're going to have their own life, they're going to have their own family. What's going to happen if you keep telling them what to do, you keep projecting all this outsourced information to them? They will be struggle without you next to them. And this is why just be patient and allow them to find that inner voice within them. It's like you're relying on the sun, and then when it's nighttime you get cold. It's a different feeling when you're constantly feeling warm from inside all the time, when you're relying on your own source. And this is why we have to be patient, because the kids at home is the best time for them to practice. Our relationship with our kids is going to be the relationship with them and the world. If you become that you have to be sacrificed, you have to give in all the time, they're going to go out to the world with the same attitude. So you gotta give them in a way, I deserve all this, I can do it, I am capable. So in a way, they don't need you for a long term, but they still value your relationship with them. And that is to start building their self-trust bit by bit every day. I really enjoy this, Karen, and I will definitely have you back on our podcast. I know we only touch like a small friction of from what on parenting, but coming to the last question, I ask this question to all my podcast guests, the same questions, with all the wisdom that you have and what you've seen, been through in life, if you can leave one piece of advice for our generation or the next generation, what would that be, and why is that?
So, if I were to just take an excerpt from the book, if you permit me to read a bit.
Please, yeah.
Yeah. So, I will always say this: we are all running the race of life. The question we need to ask ourselves is, am I running towards something, or am I running away from something? because that will make a whole difference in the posture that we take, the tools that we use, the confidence that we have. And that's the same question that we ask our child. We ask ourselves, am I running towards something? Am I running away from something?
Wow.
That's the R from my alphabetical parenting.
That's so beautiful. I think, yeah, it's like a lot of people, let's just take about death for example. A lot of people, they say don't talk about death, don't talk about dust, so they seem to run away from it. People usually respond when you're scared of something. Some people, they run away from it. Some people, they run in because they want to prepare, they want to handle a situation. And this is why it's so easy with kids nowadays, because they haven't built enough resilience. When little problem, they just run away from it. And this is why knowing like your position, like you said, what are you running to, and to know your end result, so that way you have a clear answer on what to do. So beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing this, and I really enjoy. How does our audience want to connect with you through social media platform?
So I shall share the links. I'm available on LinkedIn. I'm available on Instagram and Facebook. So I do put up a lot of posts on parenting, on self-care, because I believe very strongly if our cup is full, we will be able to be much better when we share from ourselves for others. We will feel more fulfilled in who we are and what we do. That's basically the purpose. So if you need to connect, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Definitely available. Otherwise, you have the email ID, that's astitva.healing@gmail.com. You can always connect with me for anything and any question that you may have.
That's beautiful. I will definitely share all your social media platform on our podcast video, and also on our reels and shorts as well. So I really enjoy it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lakshmi.
Karen. Yeah, I will definitely have you back. Thank you.
Thank you so much. God bless, and keep the faith always.
Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to the Wisdom Inside Out. Stay tuned. Please follow me on this social media platform.